In a new survey from Deloitte, 57% of consumers said that they expect the economy to weaken in the year ahead, and 77% said that they expect higher prices on holiday items. On average, consumers plan to spend 10% less than last year during the holidays. And joining us right now to talk retail is Michael Lasser. He's UBS equity research analyst. And Michael, again, what you ask people and what they do are not always one and the same. But the idea that people think they're going to spend 10% less and that the prices for everything are going to be up, does that read true to you?
It reads true that what people say they're going to do and what they actually do is very different. So I agree with you in that regard. And the second question of, are prices going to be up to that degree? Absolutely. And not only will prices be up to that degree, but the items that we tend to focus on during the holiday season, like toys, will see a disproportionate amount of pricing. So it's going to be an interesting holiday season, but nonetheless, I do think it's going to be a pretty successful one for retailers, given all the factors that we know.
Meaning the retailers are not going to stock up with as much inventory, meaning the retailers are not going to take price discounts so that their margins will be okay, or meaning that people are going to spend a lot more than they're thinking they're going to spend?
I think it's all of the above. I think the consumer's going to come out and spend to the holiday. There tends to be a high correlation between back to school and holiday spending. These two seasons are quite close. So that's a good leading indicator. And the back to school season was pretty good. People have jobs, albeit the labor market's not as strong as it was. And the consumer has shown a propensity to want to come out and celebrate events. Plus, there are some hot products in demand, things like the Nintendo Switch, collectibles. The Labubu is going to be a hot item for the holiday season. And so, on top of all that, I do think that retailers have ordered pretty conservatively, given all the tariffs and the other unknowns. That should lead to decent margins. So that's a good combination for the holiday season.
So we have just been talking to Leslie about the major bank earnings. 5 of the big banks already out in the last few days, and they have shown a pretty strong economic backdrop, not just from the companies that are continuing to do things like M&A activity, but a pretty strong backdrop from what we see from the consumer to this point, too. Where's the disconnect between what people seem to be doing in terms of spending, what their bank accounts look like, and this kind of gloomy outlook?
Yeah, there are a lot of cross currents. But first, keep in mind that 50% of consumer spending is driven by the top 10% of households by income. So that's a very important demographic, and they're feeling better because of their net worth is a little higher. On the other hand, the low-income consumer is feeling under pressure given the collective impact of inflation over the last few years. So it's a combination of all of those factors that are contributing to this potpourri of uncertainty in the consumer environment. With that being said, most households will want to celebrate the holidays. They're going to want to be gifting for others and for themselves, and that should create a decent foundation for retail.
You cover a lot of the big box retailers: Home Depot, Lowe's, Target, Walmart, Best Buy, Costco. Where are the winners and losers in these brands that you cover?
Yeah, it's remarkable. Over the last 2 years, 50% of all retail sales growth in the United States has been driven by a combination of Walmart, Costco, and Amazon.
And how many years over the
last 2 years? So think about your own.
Before that, it was even more. I'm going back to the pandemic.
Yeah, well, it's wavered over time, but it's been very concentrated. Think about your own experience, how much you are consolidating your spend amongst fewer players. They're just making it very convenient.
Is it the technology?
Technology, yeah. Being able to press a button, have the immediacy of the speed of delivery, extensive assortments. They are playing into all of this that is allowing them to gain a disproportionate amount of share. There are also some cyclical factors, like we haven't been as interested in spending on our home and some of those other categories. So mass merchants have benefited as a result, but they're just crushing it. They're the winners.
Yesterday, we heard the announcement of OpenAI and Walmart and that kind of partnership where you can, through ChatGPT, go ahead and order some of the items that are there. It's not just Walmart. There were some other retailers, too, but Walmart was the one that really took the headlines.
Yeah, without a doubt. And here's the way to think about it. A lot of traditional retailers were so fearful of creative destruction when e-commerce came to be that they missed it. They allowed some of these new emerging models to develop right under their eyes. They are applying that lesson and do not want to miss agentic commerce. So you will see more of those types of announcements that Walmart made yesterday. It is an early adopter. It's putting all of its products available on ChatGPT, and we think there'll be more of that.
What was the gain in the stock yesterday? Was it?
It was about $40 billion.
In market cap?
That's exactly right.
Is it worth it from your perspective? Is that a fair assessment from the market?
Walmart is on its front foot right now. It's advancing its business model in the last couple of years in ways that it had taken decades before, between advertising, its third-party marketplace, data monetization. It's fundamentally a different business today. So as it shows more progress with developing into even newer areas like agentic commerce, the market's going to be willing to reward it. So I think absolutely this is going to be a very uncertain time. The market's going to act first, think second, but in this case, I think the market has it right.